In 5.4, we are going to solve equations with decimals in them. So, first off, let's just say we have x plus 15.4 equals 13.7. On something like this, we can just solve like we did with normal numbers. We have a plus 15.4, so we need to subtract 15.4. Since we did it on this side, we also have to do it on this side, so minus 15.4. Now we have x and plus 0 equals, now we're going to do like we did before, where we do the larger absolute value minus the smaller absolute value. So it's going to be a negative 15.4 plus 13.7, which means we're going to have a negative. And we're going to have 14 minus 7 is 7. And we put our point. And then 5 minus 3, or 4 minus 3 is 1. So negative 1.7. If you have to, just do negative 15.4, 13.7, and do your subtraction like that. So next is the way that you'll normally do ones that have fractions like this. Say we have 2.1x equals 8.82. So we could just divide both by 2.1 and go from there. But also, one thing that people like to do with fractions, and it makes it easier for other questions, not necessarily this one, but it's to eliminate fractions. So turn everything into a whole number. So what we need to do is look at all the fractions and see how many digits are past the decimal point. This one has 1, this one has 2. So we need to multiply by a factor of 10 that has that number of zeros, which is the larger, and that's this one. So it's times 1, 0, 0. Since I do that on that side, I also have to do it here. So I'm multiplying everything by 100. What that's going to do is get rid of decimals. And so basically what it does is it just moves the decimal 2 spots over. So here it's going to move it over 1, 2, and here 1, 2. Need to add a 0. So this is going to be 210x equals 882. Divide both sides by 210. When I do that, 210 into 882. 210 will go into 882 4 times. 4 times 210 is 840. Subtract and get 42. So I need to put a 0.0 and 0. And 210 will go into 420 2 times. 2 times 210 is 420. So our answer here is 4.2. If you did just 8.2 divided by 2.1, and then did like we did in the previous section, where we moved the decimal over 1 spot and 1 spot, you'll still get the right answer. So next, let's do one that has a division. So say we have x over 2.3 equals 4.2. So if we multiply both sides by 2.3, these will be canceled. 2.3 divided by 2.3 is 1, so we have x equals, now we have 4.2 times 2.3, so 4.2, 2.3, we multiply, 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 4 is 12, put a 0 placeholder, 2 times 2 is 4, and 2 times 2 is 8, or 2 times 4 is 8, add these up, and we get 966, and we see that we have 1, 2 digits past the decimal. So 1, 2, our answer here is 9.6. And we can look at it, see if we're about right, because 2 times 4 is 8, and this is 2.3 and 4.2. 2.3 is bigger than 2, and 4.2 is bigger than 4, so it should be a little bit bigger than 8. And it is, so we're probably right. Okay, so next, let's say that we have 3.3x equals 8.25. This time, I'm just going to divide without getting or eliminating the decimals to start with. So divide both sides by 3.3. And when I do this, I'm going to have 3.3 into 8.25. I have to move this decimal over 1 spot. and that means I have to move this one over 1. So my decimal will be here. 33 will go into 82 2 times. 2 times 33 is 66. 82 minus 66 is 16. Bring down the 5. 33 will go into 165 5 times. 5 times 33 is 165. So our answer here is going to be 2.5. And 3 will go into 8, a little over 2 times. So we're probably right there. Next, we have some word problems. So, a rental company charges $17.95 plus 19 cents for every mile. Okay, so it's going to be a base charge of $17.95, and then you also pay 19 cents for every mile. If you have $40, how many miles can you go? Max. So we know that we have to pay $17.95 plus 0.19x for miles equals 40. So make sure you put 0.19x when it says 19 cents. That's how money works. So we can get rid of our decimals here, which I'm going to do. We have 2 digits past the decimal here, 2 digits past the decimal here, 0 here, but that means I need to multiply everything by 100. And so this will move the decimal over 2 spots and 2 spots. So this becomes 1795 plus 19x equals 4,000. So now I'm going to subtract the 1795 from both sides. I'll have 19x equals 2205. Divide 19 into 2205. 19 will go into 22 one time. We have a 3 remainder. 19 will go into 30 one time. Have 11 remainder. Bring down the 5. 19 will go into 115 6 times. So this is going to be 54 and 1, 115, 114, 1. And we're going to put a 0.0 and it'll go 0 times. So if we round it to the nearest dollar, it's going to be 100 or mile, 116 miles. Next, let's say one positive number is 5 times another number. The difference between the two is 1520. Find them. Okay, so that means we're subtracting because it's a difference. One is 5 times the other number. So 5x minus 1x equals 1520. Combine the like terms. We have 4x is 1520. Divide both sides by 4. And x is 380. So then to find the other one, we just multiply this by 5. And we get 1900. This one didn't have decimals, but you'll have some that are kind of like this in the section. So we have one positive number is 5 times the other number, and the difference between the two is 1520. So it's 5x minus x is 1520. Solve for x, and we get one of them, and then 5 times the other to get the other. Next, we have that there's a bill for $406. 310 of that is for parts, and the rest is labor, and they charge $32 per hour. So how many hours? So here we're trying to find what the hours are, so it's going to be 32x, and it's going to be 310 for the base plus 32x equals 406. This one also isn't going to give a fraction, but or a decimal, but there are questions like this here. So subtract the 310, and we get 32x equals 96. Divide both sides by 32, and we get x is 3 hours. We had a question like this in the previous chapter, but there's a review ones like this again here. Next, we have that you're going to be given a formula, m equals t over 4.5. It'll be something like this, where m is miles and t is time, and something is 5 miles away, and so how long will it take? So we're just going to put in the 5 for m, so it's 5 equals t over 4.5, and we have to find t. So we're just going to multiply both sides by 4.5, and we're going to get that t equals 22.5. So this one does have a fraction in, or a decimal in it, even though the other ones don't. The ones that you get might, but they also might not. But you'll be working them the exact same way. So, let's see, p equals add. All right, so that is it for 5.4.